How to trick your brain into saving money. You're not bad with money. I know it feels that way, like the cash just evaporates before the month is even over. But that's not a willpower problem. It's a glitch in your brain that's older than money itself. Here's the deal. Your brain was built to survive, not to save. Back when we lived in caves, grabbing food right now kept you alive. Waiting for later got you eaten. So your brain learned one rule. Take the reward now, always now. And that one ancient rule? It's quietly costing you thousands of dollars a year, every single year. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 5 simple tricks that flip that wiring in your favor. And the last one, number 5, is the strange reason some people who earn way less than you somehow end up way richer. You're going to want to stick around for that. Quick heads up, this is general info to get you thinking, not personal financial advice. Cool? Let's go. Trick number 1, make your savings invisible. Here's why this works, and why almost nobody actually does it. Your brain can't crave what it never sees. So if money lands in your checking account, your brain sees it, claims it, and starts spending it, in its head, before you even touch it. But watch what happens when you flip the order. If that money quietly slips out the second your paycheck hits, into a separate account you barely look at, your brain never even registers it as spendable in the first place. Out of sight, out of mind. And for once, that works for you. So set up an automatic transfer, even $50 a paycheck. And honestly, the amount isn't even the important part. The real trick is that you never have to decide. Because every time you have to choose between saving and that thing sitting in your cart, the cart usually wins, right? Automate it, and you only make that decision once. After that, your savings grow while you're literally doing nothing. But here's the catch. Invisible money has one fatal weakness. If it doesn't have a name, your brain will hunt it down and spend it anyway. Which brings us to trick number 2. Trick 2. Give your money a name. Now this sounds way too simple to actually work. Stick with me, because the psychology behind it is kind of genius. Your brain does not treat all money the same. $1,000 in a blank account labeled savings? That feels like fair game. But the exact same $1,000 in an account called Mom's 71st birthday in Hawaii, suddenly spending it feels like stealing from your own mother. Same money, totally different feeling. Researchers have a fancy term for this. They call it mental accounting. But forget the term, just use it. Most banks let you rename your accounts or open little sub-accounts for free. So name them. Emergency, new roof, the trip I keep putting off. Because here's the rule. When your money has a job, your brain protects it. When it doesn't, your brain spends it. It's that simple. Now, quick question because I'm genuinely curious. What's the dumbest thing you've ever blown money on? Mine's a gadget I used exactly one time. Drop yours in the comments. Some of them make me feel a lot better about my own. Okay, trick 3 is where it gets a little uncomfortable, because this one's about making spending hurt again. And there's a reason your bank hopes you never figure it out. Trick 3. Bring back the pain. Here's something the entire payment industry would rather you not think about. Paying with a card doesn't feel like spending. You tap, it beeps, you walk out. Your brain barely flinches. But handing over actual cash, that stings a little. And that little sting is your brain's natural brake pedal. And here's the proof. In one study, people were willing to spend up to twice as much when they paid with a card instead of cash. Twice as much. For the exact same stuff. And that's not an accident. That's design. Cards are built to make spending feel painless, because painless spending means more spending. So here's the move. For the categories where you always overspend, eating out, impulse buys, whatever yours is, switch to cash for 30 days. Pull out your week's budget in real bills. When the cash is gone, you're done. And you'll feel every dollar leave your hand. You'll spend noticeably less, without even trying. You're not restricting yourself. You're just turning the brake pedal back on. But making spending hurt is only half the game. The other half is beating the part of your brain that wants everything right now. And that's exactly where most people crack. That's trick 4. Trick 4. Outsmart right now. Remember that ancient wiring? Grab the reward now? That's the exact voice screaming at you in the checkout line. Buy it, You deserve it. It's basically free with this discount. But here's the part nobody tells you. That urge is loudest in the first few minutes, and then it fades fast. So you don't have to fight it. You just have to outwait it. The trick's dead simple. For any non-essential thing over $50, make yourself wait 24 hours before buying. Put it in the cart, walk away, sleep on it. And here's what happens. Most of the time, you wake up and realize you don't even want it anymore. The urge was temporary. The money you saved, that's permanent. Now here's where it gets fun. The math. Say that one rule stops just one $50 impulse buy a week. That's $200 a month, $2,400 a year, from doing nothing but waiting one day. Now flip it the other way. Take $5 a day, the price of one coffee, and send it to that named account. That's about $150 a month. Over 30 years, more than $50,000. And that's before your money even starts growing on top of itself. Tiny numbers your brain doesn't notice, turning into a number that changes your life. But here's the truth. None of these 4 tricks stick long-term if you're missing the one I'm about to show you. This is the big one, the one that actually rewires why you save it all. Trick 5, and this is the one that ties everything together. So why is saving so hard, even when you know all the tricks? Scientists found something genuinely strange. When you picture future you at 65, 70, 80, your brain doesn't light up the way it does when you think about yourself today. It lights up almost the same way it does when you think about a complete stranger. Read that again. To your brain, future you is basically a stranger. And nobody wants to hand their hard-earned cash to a stranger. That's the real reason saving feels like a sacrifice. You're giving up your money today so some random person you've never met can have it in 40 years. No wonder your brain fights it. So here's the fix, and it's almost too easy. You have to make future you feel real. And researchers actually tested this. They showed people a digitally aged photo of their own face, wrinkles, gray hair, all of it. And the people who looked their older self in the eye chose to save noticeably more for retirement than the people who didn't, just from seeing a picture. So do your own version. Write a letter to yourself at 70. Picture where you're living, what you do all day, who's sitting next to you. Give that future person a face, a name, a whole life. Because the second future you stops being a stranger and starts being, well, you, saving stops feeling like a loss. It starts feeling like a gift to someone you love. And that, not apps, not willpower, is the real reason some people who earn way less than you end up way richer. They're not saving for a stranger. They're saving for someone real. So let's bring it home. Your brain isn't broken. It's just running ancient software in a world full of one-tap checkouts. But now you know the 5 tricks. Make your savings invisible. Give your money a name. Make spending hurt again. Outwait the urge. And introduce yourself to future you. You don't have to do all 5 today. Pick one. Just one. Set up that automatic transfer before you forget, or rename one account right now while it's fresh. Small move today. If this changed the way you think about your money, even a little, go ahead and hit subscribe so the next paycheck hits a little different. And if you want to keep going, watch this next. I'll show you the simple money habits that quietly make people rich without a bigger income. It pairs perfectly with everything you just learned. Remember, you were never bad with money. You just hadn't met the part of your brain that was working against you. Now you have. Go trick it.